Welcome back here, WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. Zach Gelb here with you, rolling along here as we are getting ready for the NFL Draft. And, of course, we're going to introduce someone that needs really no introduction because everyone knows him here at Temple University, the Chuck Bednarik Award winner, the Bronko Nagurski Award winner. He's won basically every award a defensive player could win, and that's number 8, the all-time leading tackler for Temple University, and that's Tyler Matakevich. Tyler, great to see you back here at Temple. How are you?
Oh, it's great. It's great to be back here in Philadelphia at Temple.
Is that all odd for you? Because you were training in Florida, you've been all around the country for the Combine and the Senior Bowl, just not being here at Temple University after spending so many years here?
Yeah, it definitely was. Definitely to get away, and for the past 9 weeks, for as long as I was, it was definitely good for me, to just focus and really get my mind right on the next step. What my future holds. And I couldn't be more excited or thrilled to be back here, back at Temple, training with all these guys and being able to work around all the coaches. It's just a dream come true right now.
And we've known each other since freshman year, and it's just remarkable to see you win award after award. And you have players from like Alabama and Clemson that you're beating out for all these awards, even Notre Dame. Which award meant the most to you?
It was definitely the Nagurski. That was probably definitely the biggest. It was the first award I got. But, to be up there with Carl Nass at Penn State, Shaq Lawson, Clemson, Reggie Ragland, who else we had? We had the Duke safety. But it was all these guys, like unbelievable athletes. And then just to hear my name called and all the guys just like, hey, congrats, man. And just to think about what I went through since I've been at Temple, like what this team went through to get us here, because it wasn't just me. It was a team win that night. And, it just meant the world to me.
How nervous were you when you walked up to the stage? Because you didn't have a speech prepared for you, if my memory serves me right.
No, Coach Rule kept telling me when we were doing like autograph sign, he came up, he's like, hey, like get like a speech ready. I was like, come on, Coach, like odds, like look at this, like the odds of me winning, it's crazy. And then when we were sitting at dinner, my phone kept going off. It kept going off, and I looked up, and he was like, check your phone. I look at my phone, he's like, and it's just like a paragraph, just like stuff like, hey, man, you might want to say this. I'm like, dude, like stop, man. Like, it's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it was like when they were announcing the winner, I look up, and I just saw him, like, standing up, and I was like, what? No way. And then the dude announced my name, and I was like, holy crap.
There's so much notoriety that comes with these awards, and I'm sure you've gotten so many texts and phone calls. You probably want to change your number because now so many people have your number. What's the best text or phone call that you got that someone said, hey, Tyler, congratulations on winning this award?
It was just everything. Everyone knows me. I'm a very humble guy, I have great relationships with just about anybody that knows me, If you're going to say hi to me, I'm going to say hi to you, And, I just think the whole process, everybody, I just appreciate everybody just texting me and just really congratulating me. And, I just wish the team could have been there that night to get it with me. But no, it was definitely such an unbelievable experience.
And even though you already won the Maxwell Award, the Maxwell Banquet is coming up this weekend, Friday in Atlantic City, and that's going to be an incredible event. But we were together at the Philadelphia Sports Writer Association. I was getting honored, and so were you. A lot more people cared about you probably than me. But you got a chance to meet Carly Lloyd. So did I that night. Tell the audience that story, because Keenan Reynolds gets up there and basically finagled his way into getting a picture with you and Carly Lloyd.
Oh yeah. Once I realized that she was going to be there, I was like, oh man, I gotta meet her. You always, when the Olympics are on, you always see her out there. And when me and Keenan were sitting there, we were sitting next to each other, and we were like, bro, we got to find a way to do this. And right before he went up there, he just like tapped me. He's like, bro, I got this. Like, watch this. And now I'm sort of like, oh, I don't know what he's going to do. And then once he was up there, he's like, I don't want to put him on the spot or nothing, but me and Tyler were talking. And of course, everyone knows me. I probably turned bright red. And he's just like, oh, can we get a picture? And I was probably, as soon as he said yeah, I was probably the happiest kid in the world.
You have such an appreciation for a champion, a gold medal winner like a Carly Lloyd. Who's the one player in the NFL, whether it was you growing up as a kid or even now, that you just have that admiration for and you want to like model your game after?
Growing up my whole life, I was playing baseball. So, one of the biggest, where probably I get my leadership role is probably from Derek Jeter. growing up, I mean, how couldn't you like that kid?
Now,
that
batting
guy.
for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. That was the best with Bob Shepard.
It was the best. So, like, growing up, I mean, just seeing how he controlled that team was the best. But from a football standpoint, I mean, 2 guys is Ray Lewis and Luke Kuechly, you know. I mean, I had the privilege, I've said it many times, Coach Sharavo coached Luke Kuechly at BC, you know, so I definitely was able to get some inside sources on how, like, what he would do, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, if you look at him, guy just goes to the Super Bowl. He's one of the best linebackers in the league, you know. And if you look at Ray Lewis, he's one of the best linebackers ever play the game. So those are definitely a few people that I definitely try to play my game after.
How has your game changed not only on the field and off the field from when you were a freshman till now after you finished your senior season?
You know, it's just still a learning process. You know, I mean, any chance I get when I'm able to meet NFL players and past NFL players, I just pick their brains. You know, I mean, I had a chance to. I mean, I grew up. I was a Jets fan, and at the Senior Bowl, I had a chance to meet like Bart Scott. So he's an 11-year vet on the Jets, a linebacker. So I just had the opportunity just to talk to him and just really find out what it was like. You know what I mean? What was the transition from college to NFL? Like, what was different, you know? And it's just, I'm just so appreciative of all these guys helping me out. I mean, today I was just hanging out with Big Mo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Muhammad was on campus?
I was hanging out with Big Mo this morning and stuff. So, and just like the relationships we built and just being able to go to Temple University. I mean, when people say it's a family, it really is. And that's one guy that I've been in contact with, and I definitely will continue to be in probably for the rest of my life.
It's really remarkable the year Temple football had, not just even in college, but also in the pros, because you start the year off beating Penn State, then you get College game day here. No one would have ever predicted that when you came here as a freshman, and then it ends the year, even though you guys didn't win the bowl game, but still getting to the bowl game was a tremendous accomplishment. Being Eastern Division champions was another big accomplishment, but then it ends the year with Brandon McManus kicking many field goals in the Super Bowl. Just describe this year as a whole of Temple football, because it really was unimaginable for me.
Oh, it was unreal. I mean, just us alone. I mean, I was saying it since that 2-10 season. I told everyone,
you're right.
This team's good. We're just missing something, and we definitely found that spark, you know, this year. And I mean, we had an unbelievable group of seniors this year, unbelievable. And we really just stuck together. And I mean, starting the season off beating Penn State, I mean, everybody was thrilled and stuff. And the thing that got me a little mad after that game is people thought that was the best part of the season, and that was only the beginning, you know. And we knew it was going to be we had something special in front of us, and we just had to keep pushing. And it was definitely something special this year.
What's the most memorable moment from your Temple career?
Most memorable. I mean, I'd definitely say there was a few, but I mean, there's definitely this year I'd say there was 2. It was definitely that Penn State game. I mean, starting the fourth quarter when we were up, you know, you just looked at the cheering section. We just got to stop, and the place is just erupted. I've never seen the link like that. Even when I've been to Eagles game, I've never seen the link like I've never in my life. And just to know that you're a part of that, like you're a part of the reason why the crowd's going nuts. You know, it's just unimaginable. Like,
after your final game, I'll never forget this. You were holding back the tears. You were really upset, and you were always saying, "I know the perception that's about Temple football, and I know the guys that are in this locker room, and they're going to have continued success." Why do you think they're going to continue this success that you guys basically laid the foundation for?
I mean, there's a tradition here, you know what I mean? There's a process, and these guys, they watched us really lay down the foundation. You know, they saw what we went through, and the guys that weren't here, they know about it, and that's the whole thing. And when they come in, there's a standard that you're going to be held to. And right away, as soon as you accept that letter to Temple University, as soon as you sign that letter, you know what Temple football is about. You know what I mean? You know what you're signing up for, and there's a standard. And just to know that that's what we started. You know what I mean? That's what really we laid down the foundation. I mean, it means everything to me. And I mean, when we played in the Senior Bowl, we got to wear that Temple helmet one more time. I mean, that was the best. You know what I mean? And I mean, just this whole experience, this past 4 years has been the best of my life. And, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world.
And through the ups and downs, whatever the future does hold for this football program, which is very bright, and it's because of the leadership they have here in a coach like Matt Rule. You and Matt Rule will forever be linked in the history of Temple football. Let's say if you were to explain Matt Rule to someone that's never met him, how do you explain Coach Rule and what he does to a football player?
I mean, he really takes you from being a boy to a man. You know, I mean, he's not only there to be your coach, he's there to just change you as a human being. You know, you go in there, and some coaches are always about business, and he's a relationship man, you know. He's not going to treat anybody different, but he's just going to have a relationship with you, a different relationship than he might have with you. You know what I mean? That he has with me, and he's going to coach you hard. I mean, not too many guys could take hard coaching, and that's one thing he'll do. And the thing I love the most is, you know, that he's going to do anything for you. And when you have a coach like him, that you know he's going to do anything for you, he's going to fight for you, I mean, heck, why wouldn't you want to fight for him, you know? And,
yeah, the story I'll share about Matt Rule was, I think it was my sophomore or junior year after I covered the team for a full year with him being here. It was my junior year. He goes, I'll write you a letter of recommendation after you graduate. And I go, Coach, you sure you want to do that? Because I could be ripping you when you call a timeout or do something bad. And that was just a fun story with him as Tyler Matakevich joins us right now in the studio. So like we were saying, you've been all over the country. You had the Combine, you had the Senior Bowl. Just what were those experiences like for you? Because it's not normal that we see Temple have 3 players in a Senior Bowl and then also the Combine.
I mean, it's just been such a special opportunity, you know. I mean, I felt there should have been more of us, you know what I mean? You always want more, and I thought some guys deserved it. But
like who?
I mean, definitely Kyle. You know what I mean? Kyle, he's worked his tail off. Kyle, Alex Wells, Brandon Shippen, Will Hayes. I mean, there's so many more. But no, I mean, just to have the opportunity to just really go out and show the whole country what Temple football is about, you know. And it wasn't just one guy, it was all 3 of us. And I think all 3 of us couldn't have represented Temple University and Temple football in a better way, you know, at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine. I mean, when you really watch both of them, you just hear everyone just talking about these 3 kids from Temple, And it's just funny to me because, I mean, we've been here the whole time,
yeah.
You know, and nobody knew about us, you know, but now they definitely do. And I've said that to many people, and I think we did one heck of a job.
Were you happy with your numbers at the Combine?
I mean, you always want to do better. You know, I mean, that's just being a competitive person, my competitive nature. That's just who I am. I mean, I'm never going to be happy with what happened. But I mean, to where I was, to how I did, I mean, it's just, I'm just thrilled, you know?
The Combine has its positives, but I think it's a little bit ludicrous because if you run an amazing 40, you could have a terrible 4-year career. Teams are starting to go, all right, this guy's going in the first round, this guy's going in the top 10, and then they end up having a really bad career in the NFL. So I like to look at that full body of work, and I know you're the same way. The 140 time shouldn't define who Tyler Matakevich is, but the one knock that everyone's going to have against you, and you know about this, is your size. So when a team comes to you and they say, hey, Tyler, you're a little bit on the shorter end of things, how do you respond to that?
You know, it's funny. I've had, throughout this whole process, I mean, plenty of coaches have said that, you know. But at the same time, I mean, plenty of coaches have told me, which actually really surprised me, is they said, hey, you don't have to worry about your size. You don't have to worry about your weight. You're going to be fine, you know. And when you hear coaches saying that, you're like, oh, heck, like let's go. You know what I mean? I was ready to go. But no, I mean, the biggest thing I could do is when I just sit down with the team is I just tell them, like, I'm gonna be a leader on and off the field, and I'm a kid who makes plays, you know. And when you turn on the film doesn't lie, you know. And that's all I have to tell these teams. And I mean, it's just been such a blessing, and just throughout this whole process, I'm just so like grateful for it.
Every year there's a headline. This year it was Eli Apple with the whole questions that they asked him. Any bizarre questions did they ask you at the Combine? Because it's the toughest job interview of your life for sure.
You know, me personally, I didn't get any, but I read an article about odd questions that these kids get. And I was like, no, this doesn't happen. And we were on our way back from the Combine. We were waiting in the airport, and we sat down. It was myself, Josh Perry, Ohio State linebacker, and Scooby Wright, linebacker from Arizona. And he was telling us how one of the coaches, he sat down, and they were like, one of the guys was just like, all right, so are you going to kill someone with a gun or a knife? I said, all right, this is like out of control. And he said he didn't know what to answer. He didn't know what to say. I said, all right, like, thank God I didn't have any of those questions.
That is very bizarre. And it happens every year. Like, I remember the whole Des Bryant situation.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll give you a question, because if I am a scout, I want to know who Tyler Matakevich is. If you had to sell yourself to me in, let's say, 30 seconds, and then I draft you, how would you sell yourself?
Man, I would just tell them, like, I'm a leader, you know what I mean? I'm a contributor to the team. I'm willing to do whatever I had to do. I mean, I'm able to learn whatever type of defense you want to throw at me. I'm able to adjust to it, and I'm just a playmaker.
And every team you've met with, so everyone here in Philadelphia, wants you to stay with the Eagles. How did the meeting with any of the Eagles coaches go and stuff like that?
I mean, everything went well, you know. I mean, you sit down, they just want to get to know you, who you are on and off the field, you know. And then, I mean, they've already watched your film. They've already broke you down, like, as a player. So there's not too much that you could change. You just have to be honest with them. And then once I was able to just talk football with them, I mean, that's where I take off from there, you know. That's where I'm in my zone, when I'm just able to just sit down. A guy asks me, what's your base defense? I'm just able to just explain it to him.
Tyler Matakevich is here with us as he has the Pro Day coming up on, it's Wednesday, right? Yeah,
Yep,
Wednesday, and
March
then
16th.
also getting honored for the Maxwell Awards coming up this weekend. So you almost had 500 tackles in your Temple career. You're the all-time leading tackler. You passed Steve Conjar in that final game, and Conjar would text me every week leading up to games saying, I'm telling you, Zach, he's going to break my record. This is the perfect kid to do that. When you broke that record, I know it came on the losing end, but just that's an accomplishment. What did that mean to you to break that record?
You know, I mean, it really didn't hit me till when I was down training. You know, when you really look back at everything that we accomplished here at Temple University. You know, and you see that accolade, and I mean, you can't really shrug that off. I mean, that's something special right there, you know. And I mean, I just thought about all 4 years and all the guys that, like the D linemen who just took care of everything up front. You know, I mean, everyone just doing their job and just allowed me to make all the plays, you know. And it's something really special, you know. And I mean, obviously I have that record, but I mean, it should really say that whole dark side defense, you know. This
is what I can't stand about you. You're too humble because you were an incredible player here, but you always had a close relationship with your teammates, and you could be winning award after award, and you always deflect the attention to you and say, hey, it's my teammates' award. They should be here with me and all that stuff. A guy that you were very close with was Nate D. Smith. Mm-hmm. What do you think Nate D. Smith's future hold in the next level?
I mean, I'm excited. I haven't seen him in a while, so I'm sort of anxious to see. I don't even know what he looks like. He could have a crazy mohawk, could have short hair. But no, I mean, I'm excited. You know, all these guys. I mean, I've been with them for 4 years. I mean, I've seen everybody grow. You know what I mean? I've seen some guys go from actually plenty of different position changes.
Yeah, like Juice Gardner, Granger, going from quarterback to receiver, then back to quarterback, man. Chris Coyer.
I mean, yeah, it's just unbelievable, you know? So I'm definitely just so anxious. I can't wait for all these guys to just get out there and just show the pro scouts what they can do, you know what I mean, all these head coaches, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
And everyone's been linking you because of those 3 Temple guys, to Matt Ioannidis and Tavon Young. How would you describe their game to other teams? Let's say if they asked you about Tavon Young or Matt Ioannidis.
I mean, when you talk about Tavon, I flat out will tell him he's the best. I said it throughout the year, too. He was the best corner, I thought, in the country. You know, I mean, if you really look at his film, I mean, he's just a ball hawk. Wherever the ball is, he's either going to pick it off or knock it down. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who he's going up against. He's never timid from anybody, you know, and that's what makes him so special. And, I mean, Matt Ioannidis, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's getting a double team or what. I mean, he's going to find a way to get off the block. And if he doesn't make the tackle, he's nearly going to make it bounce outside, which is just as good as a tackle because he knows someone's right there. So, I mean, both those kids are 2 of the hardest working kids. I mean, I've been honored to play with them, and I'm just really excited to see what happens with them.
Matt hit a home run on this recruiting class, got some big names and took some big names away from, you heard Alabama was making calls, LSU as well. Who do you think is the next big player for Temple football that's going to continue this legacy that guys like Tavon Young, Tyler Matakevich, and Matt Ioannidis built?
You know, I just think this senior class, you know, and then after the senior class, it's just going to keep going. I mean, right now you got PJ and Jihad, you know what I mean? On defense, I mean, there's plenty of them, but I just think those linebackers, Stephon Marshall, Avery Williams, you know, those are just a few guys that are just have to just continue to keep this tradition going and the process going and don't get complacent, you know, because I told all those guys, hey, man, like, as good as the season we had last year, you know, going 10-4, I mean, you can't be satisfied with that. You know what I mean? We didn't win a bowl game. We didn't win a conference championship. You don't want to just get there. You want to win those things, you know? And I told them, hey, you guys got to do something that's never done before, you know? And that's win those big games. And, I mean, I'm definitely – I can't wait to watch those guys play next year.
Take me to when you got that Eastern Division ring. Did they ship that to you? Did you get it yet? Because I saw some people got it.
Yeah, I haven't even got it yet.
Are you Tyler Matakevich, the best player on the team, doesn't get his ring yet? I'm going to call Pat Kraft, Sean Patton, and say, where the heck's his ring?
I actually forgot to go pick it up today.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, it's completely my fault. It's funny you say that because I knew I forgot something, and I just completely remember.
You have so much confidence in PJ. Why is that?
I mean, I've just seen him grow. I mean, he's been one of my good friends. I mean, he was thrown into a tough situation. I mean, it's tough to play when you're a freshman. I mean, it's tough to play at college. And I mean, to be playing quarterback as a freshman, gosh, God bless the kid. I mean, that the amount of pressure that's on him. If nothing's going wrong, who do you guys blame first? You're gonna blame the quarterback. And no, I mean, I've been with him every step of the way so far. I mean, definitely in his first 2 years, I was there to, if he ever needed anything, I told him, hey, just call me. And there would be times late at night, you just call me like, I don't know what to do about this. And you just talk to him, you know what I mean? He's become one of my brothers. And, I mean, just to watch him grow from a kid who just played football to now a kid that's leading, like really taking command and leading this offense. I mean, it's just something special. And to watch it happen right in front of your eyes, like I'm speechless,
So what advice would you give a freshman? Let's say one of those freshmen that are coming in and trying to play right away, which doesn't always happen. You even had to wait a little bit to get into college and had that little bit of rejection. What would you say to a freshman that's coming in and trying to make it here at Temple?
I mean, you have to just attack everything, give everything you got, and whatever role you have on the team, that's what you have to embrace that, and make the best out of it, I know when I came in a freshman, obviously you want to play right away, but I was on special teams. So I knew that, hey, special teams, I'm going to do that the best I can. So I would just attack that every day and just do the best I could, and that was something that allowed me to continue my success, you know what I mean? And I just tell all these young guys, hey, man, just come in, just bust your tail off. Don't do anything off the field that will get you in trouble. Take care of your academics, and you'll be fine.
How does that special team experience help you for the next level? Because in the NFL, when you're trying to fight and make a roster, usually special teams guys are the people that make the spots 51, 52, and 53.
Of course. I mean, I know me personally. Obviously, you want to come in, you want to play right away. And I know me personally, that's how I'm going to get on the field. Obviously, I'm going to come in, I want to take your job, but at the same time, I know special teams it's a third of the game. People don't realize that it's a third of a football game, so it's very important, and it's something that I really look forward to, and I can't wait to get out there on kickoff, punt return, punt, kickoff return, and just really just learn all these systems and just attack it and just play on Sundays.
It really is such an importance because we're maybe not even talking about this Temple football season if you guys didn't have that big special team play up against UMass. What was your reaction when that field goal, the PAT was blocked, and then the next thing you know, they take it back for 2 points?
It's funny too because when they blocked it, Stephon Marshall picked it up, and I don't even know. I heard Will Hayes say pitch it, but I mean, when you're really out there and your adrenaline's rushing and you're running with a football in a big football game, when you hear someone pitch it, I mean, your first instinct isn't just to turn around and throw him the ball. Like, it could be anybody, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, Steph was able to just pitch the ball to Will Hayes, and I mean, nobody was catching him once he got in the open field, and just that whole order of events. I mean, I was just sort of like my mind was blown after that game. I was just like, let's get the heck out of UMass, please. Like, we got to get home. But no, I mean, it was just so exciting.
So many people are going to look at a guy like Nick Sharga, and they're going to expect him to, I don't want to say replace, because no one's going to be able to replace you, but try to fill that void. And if they get 50% out of what you were, Temple should be in pretty darn good shape. What kind of player is Nick Sharga for people that aren't familiar with him?
I mean, that's one of the toughest kids I've ever met, one of the most hard-working kids. I mean, he puts in the extra work, and I've never really met a kid that everything he does 100%, and that's that kid. And he's going to be something special. I mean, they could use him on both sides of the ball, and that's what makes him such a special player, and it's definitely going to help him, too, next year, being able to do that.
You've accomplished a plethora of success, and it's funny because I was with Ted Johnson, who played for the Patriots, a linebacker, won 3 Super Bowls at this past Super Bowl in San Francisco, and he was telling me that Tom Brady, who is probably the most accomplished quarterback of all time, still has that chip on his shoulder and is still mad about being a 6th-round draft pick. Do you still have that chip on your shoulder?
Of course. I mean, I carry it with me every day. Everything I do, you can never get complacent. And I mean, if there isn't people out there telling you that you're too small or that you can't play, I mean, then you're not working hard enough. You know what I mean? So that's just something that you got to just keep in the back of your mind and always just think about. You got to remember where you came from. And that's something that I take a lot of pride in. I mean, there'll be times when if we're working out, like we were just working out today, and one of the last sets I was almost struggling, and you just keep thinking like you couldn't play here. You know what I mean? It's just something that I've done my whole life, and I'll just continue to keep with me.
So with Temple football, the big talk right now is that on-campus stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Should Temple have an on-campus stadium in your opinion?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it would be unbelievable for Temple University and Temple football. I mean, just to be able to go have a walkthrough, literally from Tuttleman all the way to the stadium, that would be unbelievable. And I mean, the revenue that it would bring this university, people really have no idea. They don't understand what it's like to go all the behind the scenes, what it's like to play at the link. Everyone thinks like, oh, the link's just there for us. Like, no, you know what I mean? It costs a lot of money to play there, and I mean. And all in all, I mean, that would be the greatest thing in the world for them to have a stadium on campus.
And not so much this year, but in years past, the football team just gets bashed. And a lot of time it's unfair criticism. Like the criticism you guys faced for the athletic cuts was absolutely ridiculous because you still had friends that were on other teams and you wouldn't want to see them get cut. You know how much work they put in that situation. And that's the state right now of college athletics. You can't run a 20-plus team organization at a university for Title IX and all those other reasons, and you guys have just gotten bashed over the years for that. Just how difficult was that when you were at Temple and you see people bashing the football team and not having so much support, and then this year there was so much support there?
It's just funny. It's just stuff that you got to block out. I mean, through that time, I mean, people were always coming at the football team, football and basketball team. Everyone was just coming at us, I mean, it's tough, like you said, you know what I mean? Because some of my good friends were like playing baseball and stuff like that. So, and it was just tough. It was horrible. It wasn't good, but I mean, it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault, and it wasn't the other team's faults. I mean, that's just the world we live in today, and it was just a bump in the road. But I mean, we clearly got over it. You know what I mean? Everyone's working together, and I mean, hopefully one day they're able to bring them all back.
Wrapping up with Tyler Matakevich, who joins us right now in studio WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. Brought to you by Peerless Boilers. It's Peerless who builds America's best boilers. So what do you got in store for us on Pro Day coming up on Wednesday?
I'm excited. I can't wait to get back out there, do some of the drills and stuff, and really just attack it.
How excited are you to see Kyle Friend bench press? Because I heard that he does 40-something reps on, 225? Yeah. If they send that video viral, Kyle Friend's going to have no problem finding a job.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, me and Matt, because I was training with Ionitis down in Florida, and we would talk about it every time we would do 25. Like, yo, what do you think he's going to get? So, I mean, I saw it today. I mean, he looks great, and I mean, I'm excited to see what he does.
So, last one for you before we let you run and you go enjoy the sun. That's very nice outside today as it's approaching 80 degrees. Every single person on draft day has that moment. If they get drafted, of that phone call and it's, hey, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so team. How are you going to be spending draft day? Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I'm going to be back home, just hanging out with some of the family and friends, and just hoping, keep my fingers crossed, hoping I get that phone call. I mean, I was fortunate enough a few years back, 2 years ago, I was with one of my friends, Kari Fort, went to Penn State, transferred to Cal. He got drafted by the Saints in the 4th round. And I remember literally just sitting right behind him, watching his phone go off, him get the phone call, and for crap, I felt like I got drafted. and just since that day, I mean, I remember that feeling, and I said like, hey man, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to get that phone call. So I mean, I've done everything I possibly can. I mean, I'm just gonna continue to just get better and just keep doing the right thing and just hope everything works out.
Well, we appreciate you doing interviews with us for the past 4 years. When you become a star in the NFL and you're winning a Super Bowl like McManus, be like McManus and come back on this station. And we do appreciate all the stuff that you've done for us over the years. And thanks for coming in.
Of course, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks so much. There's Tyler Matakevich. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.